This summer marks the 50th anniversary since this country took a landmark step in civil rights.
In early July, President Johnson signed into law the Civil Rights Act that outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. Also during the summer of '64, a memorable tragedy when 3 civil rights workers, 2 from New York City and 1 from Mississippi, were murdered. It's remembered in a CBS News special.
The puzzle of the 3 civil rights workers missing in Mississippi became somewhat less of an enigma 3 days after they disappeared. Someone spotted a charred blue station wagon in the woods about 20 miles from Philadelphia. There was no trace of the 3 men.
What I want to talk about is really what I really grieve about. I don't grieve for Cheney because of the fact I feel that he lived a fuller life than many of us will ever live. We as people here in the state and the country are allowing this to continue to happen. I feel a vengeance in my heart tonight. Don't bow down anymore. Hold your heads up. We want our freedom now. I don't want to have to go to another memorial. I'm tired of funerals. Tired of it. Got to stand up.
The special CBS News 50 Years Later Civil Rights airs tonight, and it's hosted by Bob Schieffer, Chief Washington Correspondent and anchor of Face the Nation.
Thanks for taking some time out to talk to us. You talk about a very personal moment for you, what you call the most terrifying night of your life.
Well, I had just gotten out of the Air Force. I mean, I grew up in Fort Worth. It was the segregated South, but we didn't have any troubles there. The schools were peacefully integrated and so forth. I just gotten out of the Air Force and was sent down to cover the enrollment of James Meredith at Ole Miss in 1962, and that night, you know, it was a mob. Yeah. And the reporters were caught out in front of the Lyceum building, which was surrounded by federal marshals, and they were throwing fire bombs, they were burning cars. And finally, 2 people got up on the roof of one of the dorms and started firing down into the crowd, and two people were killed that night. And it was a night I still don't forget. Later I would go to Vietnam, but I never had a night or a day that was as terrifying as that was. And it really brought home how awful this really was, what was happening.
Let's talk about what's going on tonight at the Ed Sullivan Theater, what people can expect that tune in to see exactly what you have planned.
Well, it's an amazing group of people that we brought together. Among others, we have the brothers and the sister of the 3 civil rights workers who were killed in Mississippi during that time. They'll be there to talk about how it was then. We will talk to John Lewis, one of the great heroes, really a remarkable historical figure in the civil rights movement. He will be there. Taylor Branch, who wrote the definitive history of the civil rights movement in this country. And then we'll branch out into more contemporary people. We'll talk to people like Whoopi Goldberg, Rosie Perez, people like that, Jim Brown from CBS Sports, about how far we've come since then, but how far we have to go and what are the challenges of the future. One of the people we'll talk about that is with Jason Collins, and get his thoughts on that. So it's going to be a remarkable program. And you can watch it on your iPhone, on your iPad, on any device that you have. And with the help of Microsoft, we have it worked out where you can actually join in the conversation, vote on some of the topics, what you feel about them as we talk about them.
Bob, thanks. Okay, it's really good to see you once again. As Bob just mentioned, you can watch CBS News 50 Years Later, Civil Rights Live interactive event moderated by the aforementioned Bob Schieffer tonight, 8 o'clock on cbsnews.com/civil rights and the Smithsonian Channel, and you can join in on the conversation online as well.